Good afternoon, everyone. How are we doing? I'm a little bit tired. I didn't sleep well last night. I don't know why. I just couldn't get comfy in bed. So, how you had a good weekend? You guys went. I didn't get to talk to you last night after you went to Johnstown Castle with Mummy and Grandma, but I saw lots of photos from when you were at Park, and it looked awesome. So well done. I'm glad you had a good time. And now you're back in school. So today we'll do another story. I'll do a story now, and I'll try and do you a song for the three of you later. How does that sound? Okay. So I did say we do another Irish story. So when you see me looking down, this is why I'm looking down. That is the story. Today's story is The Children of Lir, which we've read a few times before, but I think it's a great story. It's a little bit sad. But most Irish stories, when you think of it, most Irish stories are sad. Now, if you see me moving, I'm just because of all these lights. Okay, today's story is the story of the Children of Lir. King Lir of Ireland had 4 children who he loved so much. But his children were tenderly cared for by their stepmother, who was now the queen. But there came a time when the queen grew so jealous of the love their father had for them, that she decided that she could take it no more. Sometimes there was murder in her heart, but she could not bear the thought of that wickedness. So she resolved at last to choose another way to get rid of them from her life. One day she took them for a drive in her big chariot that had 4 horses. Finola, who was 8 years old, and her 3 younger brothers, Éire, Fiachra, and little Con, who was still a baby. They were beautiful children, so says the legend, with skin as soft and as white as the feathers of a swan, and they had large blue eyes and very sweet voices. Reaching a lake, she told them that they should bathe in the clear water. But as soon as they were in, she struck them with a fairy wand and used her magical power. For she was one of the druids. She was one of the druids of Ireland, and they had magical powers, and she turned them into 4 magical swans. But they still had their voices. So Fionnuala said to her, "The wicked deed of yours shall be punished, for the doom that awaits you will be worse than ours." Then Fionnuala asked, "How long will we be the shape of swans?" "For 300 years," said the wicked woman, "on smooth Lake Davra, and for 300 years on the Sea of Moyle." And that's the sea between Ireland and Scotland, just so you know, up near the Giant's Causeway. And then for 300 years on Inishglora, which is in the Western Sea. It's over, as if you're going to America, it's over that direction. "Until St. Patrick shall come to Ireland and bring the Christian faith, and until you hear a Christian bell ringing, you shall not be freed. Neither your power nor mine can bring you back to human shape. But you shall keep human reason, and you shall continue to speak Gaelic. And you shall sing music so sweet that all you hear it shall gladly listen." She left them, and before long their father, King Lir, came to the shore and heard their singing. He asked how come they had human voices. "We are 4 of your children," said Fionnuala, "changed into swan by our stepmother's jealousy." "Then come live with me," said their really sad father. "We are not permitted to leave the lake," she said, "or live with our people anymore. But we are allowed to live together, and to keep our reason and our speech, and to sing music to you." Then they sang, and the king and all his followers were at first amazed, but their voices were so calm and so relaxing that they fell to sleep. Then King Lir returned and met the cruel stepmother at her father's palace. When her father, King Bove, was told what she had done, he was so angry with his daughter. "This wicked deed," he said, "shall bring severer punishment than you than on those innocent children that you have banished from their home. And their suffering may end in 900 years, but your suffering will never end." Then King Bove asked her what form of existence would be the most terrible in the world for her. She replied, "That of a demon of the air." "Be it so," said her father, because he was also a master druid and he had magical powers. He struck her with his wand and she became a bat, and she flew away with a scream. And the legend says she is still a demon, and she shall be a demon of the air in the form of a bat until the end of time. After this, the people of all races that were in Erin used to come and camp by the lake and listen to the 4 beautiful swans. The happy were made even happier by their song, and those who were sad or who were in pain forgot their sorrows and were lulled by the peaceful calmness of the swans. There was peace all in that region, while war and chaos was all around. Huge changes took place in those 300 years. Towers and castles fell and rose, and still the swan children lived there and sang every day. Until at the end of 300 years, they flew away, as they were told to do, to the stormy Sea of Mile. And from that time it was made a law that nobody was able to kill a swan in Ireland. By the sea at Mile, they found no longer the peaceful and wooded shores they had known, but only the steep and rocky coasts and the wild sea. There came a great storm one night, and the swans knew that they could not keep together. So they resolved that if they were separated, they would meet at a rock called Carricknarone. Fionnuala was the first one to reach, and took her brothers under her wings, all wet, shivering and exhausted. Many such nights followed, and in one terrible winter storm, when they were nestled down in Carricknarone, the water froze into solid ice all around them, and their feet and wings were so frozen to the rock that when they moved, the quills of their wings, they were stuck there. When the ice melted, they swam out into the sea, and their bodies smarted with pain until the feathers grew again. One day they saw a glittering troop of horsemen approaching along the shore, and they knew they were of kind, though from far away they were part of the Tuatha De Danann. The chief said, "We cannot help them, but we are glad that they are living, so at least the last enchantment will be broken when we will be freed from their sorrows." So passed their lives until Fionnuala sang one day, "The second woe has passed, the second period of 300 years is over. It is now time for us to go to the next lake. We will not be punished here anymore." One May morning, as the Children of Lir floated around the island of Inishglora, they heard a bell. They heard a bell sounding. Did we know what's happening? They knew it must be St. Patrick was bringing them, as the story had been told. So they flapped their wings as much as they could, and they went toward the sound of the bell. As they approached the land where they heard the bell coming from, St. Patrick stretched out his hand and said to them, "Children of Lir, you may tread your native land again. And the sweet swan sister Finola said, "If we trade our native land, it can only be to die. After our 9 centuries of cruelty, baptize us, and while we are yet living." When they touched the shore, the weight of all those centuries fell upon them, and they resumed their human bodies. And they got old, because they were over 900 years old. As they lay there side by side, once again they were children in their night clothes, as how they were when they were children. Their time of sorrow was ended, and their last song as a swan was sung. But their cruel stepmother seems yet to survive in her bat-like shape. She goes around the country at night, crying and crying, and wishing she hadn't done what she had done.